Chapter 1. Confronting the Technology Challenge in Universities and Colleges. There's an unprecedented challenge to universities and colleges resulting from the impact of new technology. What was once a competitive advantage for universities and colleges, the physical concentration of intellectual resources on a residential campus, is no longer a critical differentiator. Many post-secondary institutions are moving to reconstruct their infrastructure, redesign their policy, and realign external relationships to gain a competitive advantage in the information superhighway environment. There's a paradigm shift, and this is characterized by moving from an industrial society to an information society, once only education to lifelong learning, institutional focus to learner focus, local focus to global networking, technological peripheral to multimedia central, fixed curriculum to flexible open curriculum, and self-contained organization to partnerships. Why the need for change? There's a need to do more with less, the impact of new technologies on teaching and learning, the changing learning needs of society. Doing more with less. Since the late 60s, the number of students in post-secondary public education around the world has steadily expanded. This expansion has not been accompanied by a pro-rata increase in funding. For instance, tuition fees of public higher education institutions in the United States have nearly doubled in the last 20 years after adjustments for inflation. As governments try to eliminate public debt and deficits, there have been increasing fiscal restraints. Last, there has been a growing public disenchantment with higher education institutions, whose preoccupations and methods of operation often seem to the public to be increasingly divorced from the needs and expectations of the wider society. The impact on the classroom has been severe. The increase in students has been handled by increases in class size. Changing learning needs. While coping with the deteriorating instructor-student ratio, universities and colleges are being asked to meet new needs. One is the need for a much more highly skilled workforce to enable a nation to remain economically competitive and to sustain a prosperous society based on high wages. Many of the new jobs are on a part-time or contract basis, with at least 2/3 of the new jobs going to women, and a majority of the new jobs are relatively low paid. The most significant development is that many of the new jobs being created require a much higher skill level than the jobs they are replacing, especially in management and manufacturing industries. The Conference Board of Canada, 1991, defines the new workforce skills needed as good communication skills, social skills, that is, ethics, positive attitude and responsibility, the ability to adapt to the changing circumstances, the knowledge navigation, ability to learn independently, teamwork skills, thinking skills, that is, problem solving, critical, logical and numerical skills. The educational and training of the workforce is now a higher priority for governments. It is hard to quantify the need for the workforce education and training. However, if we assume that a person will need to retrain at least 5 times in a working lifetime, the current capacity of the Canadian education system needs to be doubled. Learning in the workplace will be initiated by individuals as part and parcel of their working and leisure lives. It will be driven as much by short-term needs as by any conscious plan of study. Educational attainment of students in public schools has increased over the last 20 years. The problem is that the demands of the workforce have increased at an even faster rate. Production line workers need greater literacy skills today. Learners need the opportunity to communicate with one another as well as with their teachers. These, of course, include the opportunities to question, challenge, and discuss issues. Learning is as much a social as an individual activity. Learners not only need the liberal arts skills, but also need them integrated with specialized knowledge in areas such as business, information technology, science, or engineering. The learners will also need to be able to work from home, from a work site, or while traveling. They will need to be able to access information, searching, downloading, from multiple sources in multiple formats, select, store, and reorder or recreate information, directly communicate with their instructors, colleagues, and other learners, incorporate accessed or reworked material into their work documents, share and manipulate information or projects with others, and access, combine, create and transmit audio, video, text and data as necessary. Although new technologies are being used, predominantly to serve the more traditional full-time on-campus student, a massive market is now emerging from which these new technologies will have even more relevance for teaching and learning. Different rationales for using technology for teaching in higher education. These are improving the quality of teaching, widening access and increasing flexibility, reducing costs, providing technology skills for work and life, responding to the technological imperative, improving the cost effectiveness of higher education. What are the new technologies? The new technologies are email, video conferencing, multimedia CD-ROM, presentational software, the World Wide Web. This is at the time of printing this book. Approaches to the use of technology. Classroom aid. One reason for the rapid take-up of newer technologies such as video conferencing and the web is that these have been easily integrated with traditional classroom teaching methods. No major rethinking of traditional teaching methods has been necessary. Distributive learning. Technology is used to supplement a somewhat reduced face-to-face teaching mode. How technology is changing teaching. Learners are able to access high-quality teaching and learning at any time and any place. Well-designed multimedia learning materials can be more effective than traditional classroom methods because students can learn more easily and more quickly through illustration, animation, different structuring of materials, and increased control of and interaction with learning materials. Interaction with teachers can be structured and managed through online communications to provide greater access and flexibility for both student and teachers. Information previously available only through a professor or instructor is accessible on demand through computers and the internet. New technologies can be designed to develop and facilitate higher order learning skills, such as problem solving, decision making and critical thinking. Computer-mediated communication can facilitate team teaching, use of guest faculty from other institutions, and multicultural and international classes. Conclusion. Technology is being used to address weaknesses in or to provide advantages over the current conventional system of teaching in higher education. The use of technology in all chosen examples has required a major reorganization or restructuring of the conventional teaching and learning environment.